Wanted to say hi to everybody who might be watching the video. Leslie, Patrick, Yvonne. This is a little thing to commemorate our trip to Boston. This is the underground parking in the Commons that we parked in and walked up onto the grass. There I went. There were these flags, each one flag for each Massachusetts U.S. soldier who's died in war since the Revolutionary time of war. I believe it was in the neighborhood of 44,000 soldiers. This is a broad picture of the flags, the area that it took up. And when we went, we walked up to the right of the flags and up the hill toward Beacon Street, which is where the state capitol is. Here you are standing in front of the state capitol building on that very, very hot day. This is a plaque commemorating the first fully black regiment in the U.S. It was a plaque located across from the Capitol building, looking down into the Boston Common. This is the Democratic donkey. You know who was kind enough to stand and pose behind the donkey for us. This was also located down behind the old City Hall. There was also a statue of Benjamin Franklin, the graveyard behind the church that we visited. This is the new City Hall. Some consider a very ugly building. It's just concrete. This is looking down into Faneuil Hall area, coming down into the area where the statue is of Samuel Adams, who has a beer named after him. I believe we tried some of that beer. I'm going to look up a little bit about Mr. Adams, who you see posed behind us here. Samuel Adams was born September 27th, 1722, lived to 1803, was an American statesman, political philosopher, and one of the founding fathers of the United States as a politician in colonial Massachusetts. Adams was a leader in the movement that became the American Revolution as one of the architects of the principles of American republicanism that shaped the political culture of the United States. He was also the second cousin to President John Adams. This is some of the nice, cool watermelon. I believe we had some of that. We went inside of Quincy Market, which was right after Faneuil Hall. And we had some of the sparkling water, which was very cool and refreshing. We took a break outside of that area. This is looking down the hallway. Remember the foods, all different kinds on each side. This is an area which is my understanding more people go through this area than go through Disney World or Disneyland, whichever it is down in Florida. This is coming up on the area where the guitar player was playing. It was a little before that, just kind of like the seaport there, I guess you'd call it. Um, just right next to probably the Boston Harbor, I guess you'd call it. Yeah. Then we're coming up as we walk through the archways. Um, Coming up, you could start hearing the guitar player. He was off to the right there, playing that beautiful guitar music. We sat there on some of those benches and listened to him for a while, and then I ran down and bought the CD from him. This is the Paul Revere house. It was a nice tour, very small place. Um, then we went from there over to the North End. This is probably pretty close to the North End of Boston. There's Mike's Pastry. We had those good cannolis, I believe it is, in there. Um, and then we went up the street a little bit, and at the end of the street is where we actually had some lunch. Just a couple more pictures I found here. This was the statue, or the person that looked like a statue that would dress up. That was kind of neat. I don't know if you remember that. I really enjoyed being able to be there with you on that day in Boston. Great memories. Hope maybe you can come back sometime and we can see perhaps a little more. The next picture I found is where we did have our lunch, and that was a great little lunch. Like I say, remember I ran back from here to get the car. You guys kind of just came across the street there, and I picked you up and took you back to your hotel. Hope you enjoyed. I know you enjoyed your trip.